Hello and welcome to another, dev blog of, well, it was Yandere-chan, now it's going to be called Solace, because Solace sounds pretty good. So basically what this is going to be is how to make an opening, I guess. Like an anime musical opening, because since this is going to be the first project that I'm going to do that has an opening. So, yeah. Basically what we have here is, this is just the start of it, and so usually anime openings are a whole bunch of cuts, for like a music video, a whole bunch of fast cuts. Basically I was looking at Death Parade's opening, so I'm going to model some stuff off of that. So basically what I've already done is set up a couple different shots here for some characters, and it's going to be really quick flash, but I'm going to change these up a little bit with GIMP and also Photoshop, just to add some different things. So I've already done the Photoshop part to this. So which layer is it? And here's our Photoshop layer that we use the action that turned it into like a brush drawing. So, and I'm just layering over the original picture. Added some color to the eye, and then a gradient background. But also, I need to create a title. So, yeah, I'm in Adobe Flash CS3. In case you did not know. So basically, I got this font, Cleanse Death Brush. So, oh, that was really small. Did I even spell that right? Can't even read it. S-O-L-A-C-E. There we go. Let's just blow it up. I should make that S bigger. Yeah, let's... So that's just gonna be... and make an S. And make this a little bit bigger, so it's more stylized and easily readable, legible. Man, I cannot talk today. Alright, so, and I'm just Control A and, what is it, F8? I'm trying to remember some of these controls. So yeah, here's our title. Looks kind of cool. Just used, what was the font? Cleanse Death Brush. So yeah, it looks sort of horror font-esque. So, basically, now that let's get out of this symbol, let's add some effects to this. I'm going to add, just using filters, flow effect. I'm going to make it a blue. Basically, for the template for this, I'm going to use, like I said, the Death Parade opening, since that was a pretty cool opening. I want it to be that powerful. Something like 173. Alright, well, I need a background first, so, for backgrounds, yeah. Let's do linear. And this is just a gradient background, so I'm thinking of going to have blue. Something like that, move this over so more of it is... Maybe I should make something in between. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. And just going to draw this over. Oops. Move this up. And from here, stretch it out. Just trying to put things into place. And yeah, I use so many different programs for different things. I mean, I guess I could have done all this in After Effects. I could have done it in GIMP. The only problem though with GIMP is raster. So I'm just going to gradient transform. Since GIMP is raster, I cannot play with the sizing without it getting pixelated, so, yeah. And then we have our title. Looks kind of creepy. But this is actually going to be, the reason why I'm using the Death Parade opening as like a template is because even though this is going to be a Yandere genre, where the main character is like killing everybody, let's export this image. I want the opening to be kind of like happy and dancing and all that stuff, so it's just to juxtapose things. Yeah. So I just exported that. Now I'm going to just make a new scene. Basically, do something that the beginning of Death Parade did. They have a little thing going on, so let's just use the background that we have first. Well, that is not the right color. Does not help me put white on white. Alright, so let's see. Make another layer. I want this to just be the outline. I'm probably gonna make it gray. Yeah, light gray. And something like that. Like I said, just picking up things from, oops, I don't want the inside filled. And what's another layer? I like putting everything on a separate layer. And we're just going to put an S there for solace. And make it a lot bigger. And also do the same thing with the glow. I don't even know what I clicked before. Was this? Not be exactly the same thing. I know it was like 137. And a little bit bigger. That's too big. I don't even know if I'm going to use this font. In fact, I don't think I will. I'll use a different font. I have so many. Yes. No. Alright, so after just messing around with a whole bunch of different fonts, I just picked one, which incidentally is the same font from Wolfsrain, but whatever. So, you know, whatever. We have our design thing, which you can't really see, which is fine because we are just going to export this too as a PNG, so it won't have any, whatchamacallit, S design, yes. Not as a JPEG, as a PNG, and then the opening file. Alright. And max. I don't know why it keeps going there. Alright, so that is done. So basically, now we can do some stuff with this. Going to import. Actually, let me find my stuff first. Open as a layer. And it should be this design. Let's zoom out a bit. There we go. Pretty much exactly where we want it, which is we're using 1280 by 720. I don't like using higher resolution stuff because my computer can't handle it and it just creates huge files. And it still looks pretty good on most people's computers, since this is not a video game. So now, last thing, transparency, and I guess I'll put it in white too, or gray or whatever. And the name of this character, let's change the font of this. First of all, let's type the name. Segway script. Alright, whatever. That actually is pretty good. So, well, I don't need everybody's name. I'm just gonna say first name. And oops. bigger than 18. How big? Oh, that's big. Maybe not that big. I mean, what is this, 95? It's good to me. And move this down here. And zoom out. So, here is our thing that we're going to compile into one picture. And so we're going to have basically this flash with all the other characters. So basically I'm going to do that and cut to when I'm finished. Alright, here we are. Basically I have done the first part of the opening. Well, not really the first part, because there's going to be some things that are before this. But basically these are our character shots just for introduction into the animation. And so we're going to basically go back and forth with these. Actually, I should change up the order so things are going back and forth. If you notice, I have the S on one side, S on the other side, one side, other side, and the last two. Actually, I need one more character here. And scroll over. Yeah, alright, so yeah, there's going to be one more character here, and then another one here, and then the end. Well, maybe another 2 characters? I don't know. Alright, so enough of that. Now, next up, we're going to have another thing we're going to add into here. As you can see, here is Mothra. Actually, it's a butterfly, but we're going, this is a Google SketchUp. I didn't make this. I found it on 3dsketchupwarehouse.com. Someone made it, which they didn't sign their name to the model, but I'll find it and put it in the description or something like this. So basically what we're going to do with this is I'm going to export this from SketchUp, and then I'm going to rig it. And I'll show you how to rig it probably in the next video, since this is getting kind of long. And to export, just look for this 3D Rad plugin, which it doesn't come with SketchUp normally, so it's a pretty old plugin. You should be able to find it someplace. So, and then usually I use export as generic DirectX, including back faces, which means that basically it's going to export like the outside, like these legs. It would export the texture on the outside, the face on the outside and on the inside, which it adds some more polygons, but that way you're pretty sure that you're going to get everything, especially with these wings, which I think if I exported without back faces, it would just have like the top and no bottom. So let's do that. And this can take a little bit, but then I'll get back to it when I open it up in PMX Editor. Alright. Alright, so here we are with PMX Editor. So once again, to import, just going to find where we put our thing, butterfly. It was in props. And it's only 957 kilobits, so that means it's pretty small. Alright, so as you can see, it imported. Doesn't look like all the textures imported. Probably because, let's see what textures, if there are any. Yeah, textures that are named like this are too many characters. I forget the character limit, but yeah, so I just have to rename some of these textures like 1, 2, and 3. But before I do that, I'm going to show you basic rigging. So when you import a DirectX model that has no bones in here, automatically you'll be assigned a mother bone, which can move the whole thing. So if you're doing a transform, we should have a center bone. It looks like it gave us a butterfly bone, which is just like the mother bone, and then another. Let's see what this controls. So we have this is our butterfly bone, and this controls Z to move it back to where it was, undo basically. And this bone is the mother bone. So those are already pretty much done. So I already gave us two bones. So basically, that happens usually with every DirectX model. You'll get either a just mother bone, or maybe you'll get a mother bone and an object bone, which will just allow you to move the object. So that's automatic. Now, say if I wanted, I could do these wings as bones, although I don't really need to. I've lately started to like doing everything as morphs. So if we click on the morph tab, right click in this open white space, and hit new morph and vertex. That will bring up this, which is our mesh morpher. So let's find our butterfly. Then where are we? Vert materials. This is our mesh. Whatchamacallit? Mesh window, I guess. And so then you want to click on material and make sure this green faint thing is pushed on, because those are your vertex points. And as you can see, 0 is everything, which that's the back face. I'm pretty sure 0 is usually the back face, which I could delete, which I probably will. So let's see, that's our body, head, eyeballs. Here's our wings. So basically what I'm going to do is, you can select more than once. I'll just check them both. Not that you're going to be doing this exact thing, but this is just to give you an idea. So basically you're just going to select, and basically I'm going to create a wing movement, motion, morph, whatever. So I'm just basically, the wings are made up, so I'm just changing them down. As you can see, this other gray thing that's here, that's the back face. Sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. You can always delete it. But I like to make sure that is that even? No. There. So, the other good thing about back faces is when you do this stuff, you have an idea of how much motion you will have, I guess. The other thing I could do is put a little bit of elasticity into these wings and change the shape, deform them so they're not, how would you say, flat, so they have a little bit of curve into them. I don't know if you can see that. They're not exactly flat. So, alright. So we have our wings down, and so let's just change this name to flap. Whoops. Flap down, and I'm just going to make this an other, hit add new, and then it automatically comes up. You want to add these settings? Yes. Do you want to create another setting? Yeah, I will. And then I just Control Z back to where they were, and now I'm going to make a flap up. Even though they're like this, I'm going to hyper exaggerate the movement. Now theoretically, if you were really inclined, well, actually I don't need to select one. If you were really inclined, you could do all of your animation with morphs, and there are some programs out there that do that. Like they'll maybe have a mother bone or whatever, root bone, and like to raise an arm or move a leg is with morph, vertex morph instead of bones. It's just another way to do things. Originally I wasn't going to do this with bones, but then I thought, like, you know, this is a really simple thing. I don't want to be, like, messing with the bones for every frame, since I want to have, you know, the ability just to move the slider up and down and have a wing flap. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to tape this up just to give it some more dynamic whatever. Alright, so now we have a pretty good flap. So this is a flap up, add new. Yes, I don't want to create another. Now once you're in here, you're back at the morph tab. You want to select English because the default is Japanese. It doesn't matter if you type this in English or not, it's just the title. But you want to make sure that this English is flap up, not fap up. I'm not doing that. Flap down. You want to make sure that this English is filled out because otherwise it won't show up in your MMD when you go to load in the model. So I'm just gonna save this as a butterfly, and I'll get to the textures in a second. Alright, so now what we did is, here's our folder which has our textures in it that we exported to. So yeah, you want to make sure that you know the name of the folder that you put your model into. Well, of course, just in general, to figure out where it is. And I just changed the names of some of these textures to A, B, and 1 for the body. And when you do that, somewhere around here, I don't know, somewhere in here is an option that basically says update, you know, automatically update. Is that it? Automatic switching? I don't know, maybe that might be it. Automatically update things as you change them, meaning textures. So as you can see now, our moth, butterfly, whatever you want to call it, has textured wings. Let's see if the bottom has textures. Yep, that too. So the last thing we have to do with this is pretty much delete. Let's go into our text pattern. These are all the back faces. We do not need this. And so I'm going to delete that. And so pretty much we're done with this, although there's one last thing. As you can see, these wings are kind of very dark. The reason why is the environment map here is really dark, so usually I think it's like the default is this light gray, not white. Or it's either light gray or white, it doesn't really matter. Just is how light you want it to be. So there we go, it just brightens it up a little bit. You can change the color too. If I hit this, I think that's diffuse color. If I just wanted to change it to like green or something like that, it doesn't really change the texture, but it'll put a green tint on it. So yeah. And what was the other body part? This, I believe. Yeah, this was the other body part, and as you can see, it's really dark. So I just made it white, and so we have this simple, kind of ugly body part. Maybe I should make it a little bit darker. That looks a little bit better. Alright, so maybe... Oh, the other thing that you can do is, as you can see, there are no outline edges for this, meaning, let's see, this is a wing. If I toggle that on, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Can't really tell. Oh, it's this one. This has got a black outline edge, this black bar here. If I toggle it on and off. Basically, if you're going to use like manga shader or some other tune effects, like say I wanted to use the manga shader on this, if you click that on, it'll be nice because then you'll have an outline border and it looks like it's a drawing. Actually, usually try to change this to something like, make a custom color of a light gray, so it's more like a pencil color instead of jet black. No, it's not environment map. What am I doing? Yeah, there. Okay, this. Here we go. Yeah, you can make this any color, you know, and that will actually change the outline color. So like if you had a character, I'm trying to think of animes that do it, like sometimes the outline of a character is not in black, or they're like Penny and Stocking with garter belt. The character outlines, like for the hair, Penny was a blonde, and so the outline for her hair was the same color blonde, so it didn't stick out. But you can do things like that too. I think the last thing, these reflective things, it shouldn't really matter on this texture. Anything else, of course, I can click on the ground shadow, double-sided, and self-shadow. Actually, I'm going to click off self-shadow. Sometimes that messes up. And just click on these things. That should be it. I don't think I have to do anything with the body. And, yeah. So, pretty much that is it for this butterfly. I'm just going to save it. Yes. And open up MMD as a test. This was the, whatchamacallit, where I loaded in all the models to take their pictures. And where's my folder? So basically, yeah, this is just bit by bit, a lot of background work to set up the opening. I haven't really gotten into it yet. I'm just like showing you background work, so you know, when I get to animating, you'll see like, oh yeah, you had some stuff here. Let's turn on the access point. Butterfly is so small. Well, maybe not. It's kind of huge, actually. In relation to the characters. Whoops, that is a mother bone. It is not bound to anything. I should say root bone. Here we go. And there's our butterfly, and if I flap down, there we have our flaps. And flap up. And then, of course, on the timeline, you can just go between the two. So I'm going to end this video here. Like it, fave it, even if you hate it. But yeah, I'll get to animating. But I like showing some of these background things because some people had some questions on how to import models, how to rig or set up morphs and things like that. So I'll do things like this time.